Persuasion is the one skill that can drastically improve your life. I've helped brands generate over $500 million through my writing, and I have realized that most people can't master the art of writing persuasively because they don't understand the 5 levels of persuasive writing. So here's the step-by-step playbook to get to level 5 and become a master persuader. First, level 1, the junior salesperson. Microsoft is worth $3 trillion today, but before they figured out level 1, they made the same mistake almost everyone makes. They led with features. Their old mission was a computer on every desk and in every home. It was about the object, the product. They talked about the power of Windows and the features of Office. It was all about them and their technology. Then, in 2014, they made a massive shift. They stopped leading with what they built and started leading with who they helped. They changed their entire mission statement to this: to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. They stopped pushing technical specs and started answering 2 questions customers were already asking. What's in it for me? And why should I care? When they changed their language from owning the desktop to empowering the user, their profits grew. The shift was simple, but the impact was massive. Now this is level 1. You study how you can get the yes. And the answer is simple. Stop talking about yourself. People don't care about your solution until they see themselves in the story. Now, if you're getting ignored, it's because people's brains decided in 6 seconds that you're noise, not a signal. So ask yourself, does my first sentence answer what's in it for them and why should they care? If not, try rewriting it. Start with their benefit, their problem, their outcome. Now, level 2 is where most people get stuck for years. It's the trickster. Imagine walking into a nice restaurant. You're not sure what to order, so you open the wine list. First bottle at the top, $2,000. Your brain immediately anchors at that price. That's expensive. This is a serious restaurant. You keep reading. As you move down the list, you see $800, $500, $220. By the time you hit the $220 bottle, your brain is doing something kind of interesting. It's not thinking, $220 is expensive. It's thinking, okay, $220 is reasonable compared to $2,000. You might even think you're getting a deal. There's a $25 bottle at the bottom of the list, but now $220 feels like the smart choice. Here's what just happened. The restaurant used anchoring, one of the most powerful cognitive biases. The first number you saw set the reference point for every decision after. If that list had started at $50, you would think $220 is outrageous. But because it started at $2,000, $220 feels moderate. This is level 2 in a nutshell. Here you're building a toolbox of cognitive biases, mental shortcuts your brain evolved to make fast decisions, and anchoring is just one. There's also loss aversion. People fear losing more than they desire gaining. Social proof. People trust what others choose. And the Goldilocks principle, which is people pick the middle option. On level 2, you stop studying yourself and start learning what makes people say yes. Universal psychology that works on every human brain, and it feels like a superpower. But here's the trap. Most people get stuck here for years because they think knowing the tricks is enough. It's not. When you collect techniques without understanding when they work and when they don't, it backfires. Fake urgency triggers skepticism instead of action. Social proof from the wrong people actually decreases trust instead of building it. And anchoring at a price that's too high makes people leave instead of comparing. You're using the right tools at the wrong time and it's costing you. You're stuck at level 2 because you know what works, but not why or when. And this is what I'll show you at level 4. Here's how to use level 2. When you're negotiating, put the highest number on the table first. That's anchoring. Don't say, gain 20% efficiency. Try instead, stop losing 20% of your time. That's loss aversion. And when you need someone to choose your option, give them 3 choices, put yours in the middle. That's the Goldilocks principle. You're using cognitive biases to influence decisions before people realize they've decided. Next up is level 3, the influencer. Here's my favorite example of this. So, it's 1807. Napoleon is fighting the Napoleonic Wars, and there's one position on the battlefield that is a death sentence. Whoever mans that position will almost certainly die. Napoleon needs someone to volunteer for it. Now, here's the problem. How do you convince soldiers to walk toward certain death? can't order them. Morale is already terrible. Nobody wants to be there, and everyone knows that position kills people. This is where most commanders fail. They try reason, threats, even appeals to duty, and none of it works when death is obvious. So Napoleon, the great copywriter Napoleon, put up a sign at that position. Just one line, and it went like this: "The battery of men without fear." That's it. Doesn't ask, doesn't command, doesn't explain, he just names it. And from that moment on, that position, that battery, was never unmanned again. Soldiers lined up for it. You could not march past it. Napoleon understood something that is the foundation of level 3. He wasn't using generic persuasion. He tapped into identity. In that context, with that audience, the worst thing you could be was a coward. The best thing you could be was fearless. The sign didn't ask them to die. It asked them who they were, and they answered by stepping forward. This is what we call money words, the specific language that resonates with a specific audience in a specific context. Level 3 is how you upgrade from using only generic psychology, and you start getting the yes in more custom conditions. And when you get the words right, the results are shocking even to this day. When you use money words, one word is the difference between soldiers volunteering for death and refusing. The right word in the right context doesn't just persuade, it controls the decision before it's even made. So before you write anything persuasive, do research, read reviews in your audience's language, join their forums, look for their exact words they use to describe their problems and their identity, not what you think they'd say. Then practice those words 38 times. Yes, a Yale study found that that's how many repetitions it takes before a word becomes part of your natural vocabulary. Say them out loud, write them in sentences, because when you use someone's actual language, they feel understood. And people say yes to people who understand them. Level 4 is where things get serious. I call it the manipulator. Daniel Kahneman wrote Thinking Fast and Slow and discovered that your brain operates on 2 systems. System 1 is the highway. It's fast, automatic, always on. It answers 2 + 2 instantly. It finishes bread and with butter without thinking. Most decisions actually happen here, and your brain loves it because System 1 is effortless. System 2 is the toll booth. It is slow, deliberate, logical. It stops you in your tracks. It handles 34 times 46. But here's the key. System 2 is lazy. It burns massive energy, so your brain only activates it when System 1 detects danger or confusion. So at level 4, you realize persuasion is just traffic control. And your goal is to keep System 1 cruising along the highway and System 2 fast asleep. Because the moment System 2 wakes up, people overthink, they create objections, and they talk themselves out of decisions. Here is why level 4 is exponentially more powerful than level 2. You shift from trying to get the yes to learning how not to get the no. You are removing every obstacle, every reason someone might object or overthink. At level 2, you were guessing with tricks. At level 4, you understand the mechanism. You know, social proof keeps System 1 confident, and urgency prevents System 2 from waking up. You are engineering decisions. But here's the fork in the road. You can use this to manipulate people into bad decisions, or you can use it to remove friction from good decisions people already want to make. It's the same technique, opposite ethics, and that's your choice. So before any conversation, any email, any pitch, ask, am I creating unnecessary toll booths? Remove complex jargon, unfamiliar references, or anything that makes people work. Use simple words, familiar patterns, and a conversational flow. Then ask the ethical test. Would I want them to say yes if they were fully thinking this through? If no, you're probably manipulating. If yes, you're helping, and that is the line. Now, the last level is mastery. It's the story seller. But most companies, even billion-dollar ones, completely miss this technique. My agency wrote copy for billion-dollar mattress brands like Nectar, DreamCloud, and Aurora. And we discovered something about the most persuasive copywriters that changed everything. Here's the question. How do you sell a mattress to someone with chronic back pain? Most people do it a little wrong. They list features, 7 layers of memory foam, pressure relief technology, doctor recommended. That is level 2 stuff. Extrinsic motivation through social proof and authority. It works, but people still resist it. Here's what a level 5 person does. They tell a story. we would write about a woman who suffered from chronic back pain, got less than 4 hours of sleep a night until she bought this mattress. Now she sleeps 8 hours, wakes up refreshed, her pain is gone. This is level 5. You stop studying tactics and you start studying humanity. Stories work because they use intrinsic motivation, emotion, credibility, goal facilitation, not just extrinsic tricks like urgency or scarcity. We are weaving in everything from the previous 4 levels invisibly. Level 1, what's in it for them? A restful night. Level 2, recommended by more back specialists than any mattress. Level 3, money words like relief, refreshed, sleep. Level 4, simple language that keeps system 2 fast asleep. All 4 levels are working inside a story. Your story is selling because you're doing all the selling from levels 1 through 4 inside a story. So before your next pitch, conversation, or email, ask this. What story am I telling where they're the hero and I'm the guide? Not features, not tactics, not yet, just the story. And if you want to master story selling, here's a pretty cool exercise. Grab an email or a headline you've written, turn it into a second-person story using this framework. If you want to be seen as blank, then do this. So, if you want to be seen as a master networker, stop doing this with your eyebrows. If you want to be seen as the most AI-driven marketer in your org, here's what to bring to your next meeting. This taps into identity, tribalism, and survival, which are all huge for storytelling and selling. Now that you understand how persuasion actually works, the next step is turning your words into stories that make yes feel automatic. Watch this next video to learn the 8 storytelling principles that engineer attention, trust, and action without forcing the sale.